Good morning and welcome to the January farm tour. Yes, I know I missed November and December, and the reason for that is that it was just raining like unexpectedly, unprecedentedly so much that I couldn't actually get out to do the tour. I apologize to my regular tour watchers for not doing November and December, but it was raining a lot. There was also quite a bit of frost. We were going down to temperatures of 0 and 1 degrees, and eventually the farm lost all of its foliage and it is now naked. The intentions for the farm tours going forward this year will hopefully be to not just include a walk through the farm, but also to show you what I'm planting, how things are growing, and how things are progressing with all the agriculture during the year. I hope you enjoy this tour at the start of the year. Hello and welcome. I'm Christine, an expat originally from South Africa. I moved to Portugal in October of 21. This is my adventure as a solo expat on a farm in Central Portugal with my 2 fur kids, Shakti and Shiva. I've never owned or lived on a farm, but I moved to Portugal in the hope of fulfilling a lifelong dream in finding an open space, subsistence farming, and a safer, better life. Now that we have found our farm, the second stage of our journey begins. I have to figure out farm life while renovating an agricultural structure to make it habitable and turn it into a comfortable home for me and my fur kids. Follow along our journey. This is Girl Meets Farm. The farm is currently absolutely naked in its winter clothing, I guess, or lack of clothing, I should say. Don't these pear trees remind you of the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter? I always look at them and think it's so funny, but they're quite pretty, aren't they? Except for the building rubble that's still lying here, but at least the courtyard is nice and clean now, and I can actually see what's happening in there. It's amazing. They also managed to scrape away all of this buildup that was here before. There was also a big hole here. So I asked them to take all that rubble and just fill this out and flatten it out for me. There's still a little bit of flattening out I guess I need to do. But for the most part, this looks really good, and the rest I can probably do by hand. My intention with this space is to turn it into a carport one day and have a woodshed here, an open air woodshed, and parking for my car that's undercover at least. Besides the grass that is growing everywhere, and even some chamomile between the vineyards, the only trees currently with any kind of foliage are the oranges. This one and that one are baby oranges. Everything else is naked. My pine tree from Christmas is still here, needs to be transported and transplanted elsewhere. The farm is very overgrown because with the renovations happening and the terrible weather, I just haven't had any kind of mental stamina to jump in here and clean anything up. With all the trucks, all of my permaculture water trenches have pretty much been ruined, so I'll have to draw them again. At this point it doesn't really matter though, because we get so much rain that I'm not particularly worried about anything getting enough water. but I will need to redraw them when I start cleaning up this area as well. Yeah, you can see the boulder has pretty much been everywhere and just absolutely cut up pretty much most of my land, which will need some raking back together. It's not the end of the world, I can definitely do it. Luckily I didn't have anything planted here, else I probably would be a little bit more upset. I still have to remove all the old foliage from the summer veg, and I sadly didn't plant anything for winter this year, but I will be cleaning up and planting for summer. The vineyard is completely naked now, no foliage left. All of these little flowers are actually chamomile. They're just closed right now because the sun isn't out. But the whole vineyard is just covered in chamomile at the moment. It's really beautiful and it smells really delicate too. Oh, I have so much water here at the moment that my main well, which is the one at the back there, is kind of overflowing. And this is its overflow. I need to clean this as well, I know. But basically, when it reaches a certain point, it just overflows all the extra water down this way, through there, underground, through a pipe, and out the end. It then all goes downhill on a road there and joins with the river that actually runs through at the bottom before that hill. So the orange tree and the olive trees are the only trees at the moment that have any kind of foliage. And the olives in the vineyard will be trimmed in February. The well is still quite full. At the moment it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a bit stones down. It managed to get up to 5 stones down. That was the fullest I've seen it. It's currently been sitting between 6 and 7 stones for the last couple of weeks, and I'm watching it every day go up and down. It's lovely to see it so full though. Down my favourite little passage. This is also where the builder got stuck with his truck and proceeded to shred the whole side of the property all the way down to the wall at the back there. Again, just something I'll need to rake back together. At the top of the property, the higher terrace. These are the quince trees. I saw in some parts the brambles are taking over again, probably after all this rain. I'll need to cut them back. This is one of my favorite areas of the farm. It's so peaceful up here. The orange tree is so heavily laden. Unfortunately, they're not quite sweet just yet. They're still a little bit tart. Very delicious as a juice though. Great vitamin C. Just noticed the rose bush trying to sprout some roses. They'll definitely need some rose food and some TLC this year, as everything else on the farm as well. A little bit of TLC. Till next time.